Welcome to Your Anime Senpais. I'm Richard, and today I'm going to be watching and reacting to Fate Grand Order Babylonia Episode 2. So, just to recap from Episode 1 right quick we had Ritsuka and Mosh. They reshifted into Babylonia, and they were planning on reshifting into the city of Urik, but apparently there's some kind of barrier that's protecting Urik right now, possibly from attack. So they've landed outside the city, quite a distance away, it seems like. And so looks like they land into some kind of like ruined village or something like that. And they don't really get much of a chance to kind of figure things out before they get attacked by demonic beasts. So Mosh, she manages to fight those beasts off thanks to with help with her master. And finally, it seems like they might get a chance to breathe until some Rin-looking character comes in and crash lands into them, specifically Ritsuka. And yeah, she just kind of popped out of nowhere. So, and of course, she seems very kind of haughty, like how dare you touch me without my permission, type of thing. And he apologizes, says I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, and um, they introduce themselves, Mosh and Ritsuka. They're from Chaldea and etc. And so Rin kind of gets it. That understands they're from a foreign place and they don't recognize her, but she doesn't even bother to introduce herself. She just kind of makes demands and like hey, have you seen this thing over here? And they're just like, we have no idea what you're talking about. So this kind of goes on for a little bit until they get attacked by demonic beasts again. And so Mosh and Ritsuka, they kind of take up defensive positions, and Ren's just like, nah, I got this. And she kind of handles each of the beasts pretty swiftly, honestly. And I'm not gonna lie, she looked good doing it too. So pretty much takes care of him, makes her kind of finishes off kind of just like brushing her hair, just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm awesome, whatever. And they're like, yeah, that was fantastic until they get attacked by more demonic beasts. And Rin's just like, you know what, I'm out, and she kind of goes away. So Mosh and Ritsuka, they're by themselves again. And they're trying to figure out how to get out of this. They're surrounded, so not really much of a place to go until a green-haired person comes out of nowhere and saves them using these chains that should look pretty familiar for Fate fans, I would assume. And this person introduces themselves as Enkidu, which is someone that's closely connected, I guess, to Gilgamesh and his tale. I'm not going to go into that now, but essentially Enkidu offers to guide the duo to Uruk. And on the way there, Enkidu explains that Uruk, or rather, I should say, Mesopotamia itself is being attacked by the Three Goddess Alliance, and which kind of blows their mind a little bit because I think Masha was the one that said, aren't the gods supposed to be protecting humanity? And Enkidu's like, the gods have never really been on humans' side at all whatsoever. So, in any case, they travel some more. They finally get to Uruk, or rather, they get to the absolute demonic front, which is like this basically this great wall that's surrounding the city, it seems like, or at least the province. And it looked like it was under attack by more demonic beasts. So that was where we left off at. So I'm assuming that either at this point we can assume that they're going to try to go around to much safer entrance, or I mean, they could fight their way through. I mean, why not, I guess. But there was quite a few demonic beasts there, so that would be really, really dangerous. But in any case, let's get into it. Oh, okay, so they're yeah, they're pretty much picking off where we left off. Well, yeah, I was gonna say Some people in that party don't think so. Secrets out. Like class advantage, right? Wow. Something like that, yeah. Uh. Yep. World biggest scoundrel. Yeah, it's true. It's freaking Merlin. But as a support servant, though, he's fantastic. Yeah, it's pretty good. Did she just she just knock him out? Right. If it gets destroyed, then there's nothing to do. And we've been living that fight. Oh, that's true. Honestly. I mean, he didn't break the game for nothing, man. He's just really good. You know, how interesting would it be to actually go there? Hmm. Hmm. Yes. Just like that. Ah, don't cut it off there. All right, guys, that's the end of episode 2. So moving on pretty quickly, at a pretty quick pace here. So got Merlin showing up, Anna showing up, Enkidu. We kind of see his true face now. Um, and that battle between Enkidu and Anna was fantastic. Even if it was just like half it was like an illusion or whatever, it was still really well done, really well animated. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of those two fighting, and really just the fights in general. I think a lot of the budget is just towards the fights, and the background too. Background looks fantastic. It's just sometimes when they get to the CGI, like just the background characters and stuff, it just looks a little off. But otherwise, it looks good. You can definitely tell all that FGO money is, well, not all, but a lot of the FGO money is going towards this. So otherwise, overall, I'd give this kind of a thumbs up, just because a lot of it was just really just setting up for the rest of the story. I'm glad to see Gilgamesh was just fantastic. Siduri, which was also fantastic. And really just Merlin shenanigans. Foe just like beating him up is always a good time. As we'll see, they have a little bit of a history together, so not really spoiling anything, but it's pretty amusing. Otherwise, yeah, I really don't have too much to say on it, honestly. It's been a while since I played Babylon, so I'm still kind of vague on all the different details. I remember the overall story, but there are some details that I've forgotten since then. So, and I know for a fact that they changed some things in the first episode. So I'm sure they probably changed some things in this episode too. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of along for the ride, and then once we hit the high points, I'll just be like, oh yeah, I remember that. So overall, though, like I said, it was a good episode. So I'm really looks like we're gonna have a little bit of battle between Chaldea, or at least the duo, versus Gilgamesh, possibly. So look forward to seeing that next episode. With that being said, what do you all think of this episode, and what do you all think of how the story is proceeding? Let us know down in the comments below, and of course, if you like this episode, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to our channel. And if you really like what we do, please consider checking out the links down below to help support us. So with that being said, see you all next week.